This drink will literally make you younger.
Available only in this video, only for certain participants, and actually only it's Brie.
Hello, my name is Brie, and today I am going to be your bartender.
My bartender?
Well, yes, also you, because you probably will actually get some of these. Today, I have for you 3 summer cocktails that you are going to have on repeat all season long. First up is the Summer Negroni, which is so bright and refreshing. It has a little bit of grapefruit notes on it, which just makes it perfect for summer. I also have a Pretty in Pink Paloma, which is a spin on the margarita, but it gets a little summery glow up. And I also have my frosé recipe for you, which I personally believe is the best frosé I have ever had. And my standards for frosé are so high that I don't drink them unless I made it. Let's make our first cocktail.
Is it the first cocktail?
Yeah, it is.
He asked for no reason whatsoever, given that this is all clearly happening exactly one after another, because that's how videos work.
You are on the correct video. This is Brie from the future. I believe I am tanner, blonder, and a few days older. You all, we miscorrectly filmed this cocktail, didn't realize it till later, so here I am, I'm back. I was gonna wear the same thing, and then I was like, we're not about perfection over here. We're not trying to do perfect videos over here. So let's make the Summer Negroni correctly this time.
We need it this time.
I really love Negronis. I think they can be an acquired taste because they can be a little bit on the bitter side. But the Summer Negroni, I think you should try this drink if you are on the fence about Negronis. We use a Blanc Vermouth, which is a little bit sweeter. We use a gin that has some grapefruit notes to it. And you all, I usually do not do liquor that has already been infused. I will either do it myself or I just won't mess with it. But Malfy has some of the best infused gins. And so we use their grapefruit infused gin. It is perfection. And then Aperol. It is so delightful. It is so summery. Let's bring it together. You're gonna get your cocktail glass, fill it with ice. A Negroni is 1 to 1 to 1. I like to do 1.5 ounces. So we're gonna start with this 1.5 ounces of Blanc Vermouth. Again, this has a little bit of sweetness to it. So it cuts the edge of some of the bitterness that comes from the Aperol. We're gonna do 1.5 ounces Aperol. This drink comes together so fast, and it's also really perfect to batch if you have a party, say, and you just wanna have a cocktail that is on hand. And then we're gonna do 1.5 ounces of this Malfy gin, which is grapefruit infused. Here we go. We're going to stir. We really want to stir because we not only want to bring all of the liquid together, we want to chill this liquid down because we want a crisp cocktail, a crispy cocktail. Are people going to experience whiplash in the next cocktail? What do I even look like? It is a flashback. You're about to see a younger Brie.
You're about to go back in time.
She's about, what, 10 days younger?
Yep.
Be kind to her. She did what she could with what she had. And that is nice and chilled. And we're gonna go ahead and strain it into an old-fashioned glass. I like to use a large spherical ice cube. Let's give this a taste and see if it lives up to the hype that I've given it. It smells so good. So refreshing, so bright. It has a little bit of bitterness to it, but I feel like not as much as a traditional Negroni. I hope you give this one a try.
And now, back to your previously scheduled programming.
And now, I bring you young Brie. Now it's time for frosé. Frosé all day. I love rosé in the summer so much. And as mentioned before, I almost never order frosé when I'm out and about because I feel like they're either too sugary, like way too sugary, or they taste really watered down. And then one day my friend and I went to this pizza joint and she said they have the best frosés and we tried it and I was like, this is, okay, yes, I get the hype of frosé. It tasted so good. You could still taste the rosé wine. It wasn't overly sugary. It wasn't overly watery. And then of course I was like, I'm gonna go home and make it.
As one does.
As one does. You wanna start with a bottle of rosé that you like. You can pour it into a container with a lid and put it in the freezer overnight. I want to freeze the rosé because, like I said, I don't want it to taste watered down, so I'm not putting a ton of ice in my frosé to get that slushiness. No, that's coming from the actual wine itself. It freezes really well, and we just want to get it into our blender. I just kind of start hacking away. Comes up in chunks, which is nice. Boom. 2 ounces Grand Marnier. I like to make it just a little bit boozy, but nothing crazy. Then I add just 3 tablespoons of sugar because it does need a little bit of sugar to kind of have like that slushy effect, but 3 tablespoons is good. No more. And then I add about 4 to 5 fresh strawberries, or to make it even extra slushier, you could do frozen strawberries. But these strawberries looked so good, I could not pass them up. Oh, I do feel like I need to alert the people. These go down real smooth, and they are dangerous.
You don't realize what you're getting in for, huh?
They're so good. And then the next thing you know, you're like, oh yes, but that was mostly rosé.
That was just hydrating.
And lastly, I add about half a cup of ice, which is literally like 5 to 6 ice cubes. Because again, I don't want it watered down, but I want to help with that slushy effect. And that's it. I would make these as people are coming over because you don't want it to melt. Just throw it all in the blender, blend it up, serve everyone. We have our frosé that came together so fast. She's so pretty. She's so fun. She's like, hello, I'm here for summer. You can serve this with a spoon if you want, so people can kind of like eat it until it gets a little bit more melty, or a straw, however you want to do it. But you have to know, you all, this truly is the best frosé. That is so good. It's not too sweet. It's so bright. I still can taste the rosé. Stay cool out there, you all. Lastly, it's time to make the pretty in pink Paloma, you all. This might be my favorite margarita of summer. I love the original margarita recipe with just like tequila, lime juice, Grand Marnier float. That is always, always, always what I want in a margarita, but I wanted something that was also a little summery. And actually, this has a little bit of mezcal in it, this bright juice from this grapefruit, the tequila, and a homemade orange simple syrup. This cocktail, I would pay $35 in a restaurant for this cocktail. I would.
Wow,
I would.
wow.
I would.
I'm not gonna lie, it's really yummy. You really nailed this recipe.
It really is yummy. Now, have I accidentally paid $50 for a cocktail? Do you remember this?
I do.
We were at one of my favorite restaurants in LA. They had a tasting menu. You literally sat at the kitchen while they made your food for you. Like you were in the kitchen. They only would seat, how many could they seat? At like 10 to 12 people?
Yeah.
It was so fun. Well, at the end of the night, when you're done with your meal, they escort you out of the kitchen and into this bar area. Of course, you're like, oh, we don't want the night to end. It's so fun. We were there with our friends. So they bring us this cocktail menu and they're telling us all of the drinks, and the drinks on there are pretty expensive. It was like $25. But then they tell us off menu cocktail that has Wagyu beef fat washed bourbon in it for their old fashioned. And James and I were like, yeah, we'll each have one. You and Amanda did the smart thing. You stayed on menu.
We did.
Truly probably one of the best old fashions I've ever had, so I'll give them that. But the bill came and we were like, what's this $50 charge? And it was the Wagyu bourbon fat wash old fashioned. I'd do it again.
Would you?
No regrets. But that's how I like to salt my glasses these days. This is like the fun way to salt your glass. Now, are you like,
yeah, does it look like you're a little thirsty for some salt? Maybe.
Maybe, but it looks fun. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get my ice ball in here. I just filled my cocktail shaker up with ice. I'm gonna do juice of half a lime. Ooh, she juicy. So it is 1.5 ounces tequila, your favorite tequila. Ooh, that smells smooth.
It's an añejo, but it looks like a blanco.
I love añejo tequilas. Okay, then we're gonna do 1 ounce mezcal. If you don't wanna do the mezcal, you can just do 2 ounces of tequila.
But you should do the mezcal.
The mezcal it gives it something special, you all. Then we're gonna do 1 ounce of this orange honey simple syrup. I just made a fresh batch of this. You all, this is perfect in so many kinds of drinks. I've even put it in my iced coffee. 1 ounce just for a little sweetness.
Ooh, I can smell it from here.
So good, right?
Yeah.
And 2 ounces of grapefruit juice, fresh squeezed, and that's it. Shake this vigorously so that everything gets nice and mixed, but also because it gets chilled when you shake it for a while. That's our pretty in pink Paloma. Let me give it a taste.
Such a martyr.
Listen, somebody has to do it. That is so good. It's so good. If you like margaritas or tequila for drinks, you have to try this. It is so bright. I love the grapefruit in this, but I also love that little bit of smokiness from the mezcal, and the orange simple syrup is doing the most. This is an absolutely refreshing, delicious drink for summer. Cheers! What are we gonna do with all these drinks?
Oh no, whatever shall we do?